We're going live today with Chani to discuss ecstatic birth. I can't wait for Chani to explain what it is, but I love that she is so passionate about empowering mothers, women to, Chani's here, empowering mothers and women to really come to birth from a place of empowerment and pleasure rather than fear and pain and contraction. That's a play on words, but okay, Chani, you want to request to join and I'll accept you. That was funny about contraction because there actually are contractions, but yeah, not to experience it as a contraction, right? I think that's Chani's message. Oh, are you perfect? Let's hope it works. Hi, Chani.
Hi.
You look beautiful. That was like
Thank
the
you.
first judgment that came into my head.
Same to you.
I love the way you look. Okay.
Thank
So,
you.
do you want, okay, you have did a live with me like around, I think 4 years ago, something like,
Yes.
or maybe 3 years ago.
Yes.
So I don't know how many people are familiar with you or not. So do you want to first maybe introduce yourself in the way that you wish, and then we can dive into the topic from today,
Sure.
of today?
Um, of today, the Torah that is coming to us today. Um, so I'm Hannah, and I'm a massage therapist, and I lately been starting to do pregnancy courses, preparation for birth course. It's my first time doing it, but I've been working one-on-one with women. I'm doing energy healing and craniosacral, different things that I do. And I'm so excited for this new era that's opening up of these courses that I've been working on for so long. And I can't wait to get all the feedback and results. We're now currently in the first course. It's four classes, and we're up to the fourth coming up, and it's amazing. So this is the new era of what I'm hoping to continue to do.
Yeah, when you say new era, meaning like new era for you that you're going into
Right,
this, is that what you mean?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, because first I thought it was like the new era of, because in a way it's like it is a new era of birthing or something, but yeah, you're saying your own. Okay, so
Yeah, also my own, and also the, like you said, the new era of birthing. My own, in a sense that I've been working, we'd had it alive like around 3 years ago, and since then it's been brewing, and literally I had pains in my body just wanting to get this information out, and making it possible for me to get this out. And new era, as far as new era for us, we're getting into new things now. Like, it used to be mostly survival. Now we're learning abundance. We're learning new sentences. For example, gentle parenting. For example, you don't have to work hard to make money, right? All these things that we grew up on, or birth doesn't have to be painful, or even the new songs that are coming and are becoming big hits is like, Hashem יתברך, תמיד אוהב אותי, ויהיה לי רק טוב, ועוד יותר טוב, ועוד יותר טוב, ועוד יותר טוב. And this is the new era, the goodness, the abundance, the love. It's not, we're stepping up. We're getting
yeah.
ready.
Yeah, I think of it as like the Geula mindset rather than the Galus mindset.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, oh, we're suffering and we're in pain and everything's hard and it's supposed to be hard and it's meant to be hard. It's like, no, what if actually, yeah, we're meant to step into something else right now? And yeah, oh, I love that. I love that. Okay, so yeah, so based on that, tell us more. Tell us more about what it is that you're passionate about when it comes to women birthing. I mean, I know it's huge, but start and I'll interject if I
Yeah.
have questions or anything.
Yes. So I first want to say if anyone has any questions or anything, they could put it. If we have time, we'll look at the questions at the end. If not, you could always, I hope to look at it either way for it to help me give me guidance also. But what I love about my approach is that we look at it as like a spiritual and emotional and physical journey. Not only physical, it's not a medical procedure. We have medical assistance. We could have medical assistance, and that is so wonderful. We are so happy for this beautiful gift for cesarean, for epidural, for everything the world has to offer us. But first, עיניים להם ולא יראו, right? We have eyes. We want to see. We want to use what we have already and see the gifts of what's going on here. We are in college right now. It's an accelerated college process. Pregnancy is an accelerated college. We're getting every pregnancy. We could learn so much. Forget about giving birth, which is also a beautiful journey where you could gain so much, but we could use these things that we're getting. You know, we're expanding not only in our body. What happens in the physical happens in the emotional body. It happens in the spiritual body.
Wow.
So we want to tune in and get those gifts of expansion everywhere.
Ooh, wait, pause on that. I love that. I love that because in general, I believe like our the physical manifestation is actually a direct, how do we say, like a manifestation, I guess, of the spiritual, right? And the emotional. So like you're saying, like, yeah, if there's an expansion in the belly, let's say, right? Like you're saying that there's actually the same in like a spiritual sense. I love that.
Yeah.
Or the capacity for that, to connect to that.
Yes. And as you said, you know, it's happening also spiritually, and it's manifesting in physically. During birth itself, we're opening somewhere that is closed. And that opening, what else is it opening? What else? It's opening the gates of heaven. It's opening places that have never been opened before. You are becoming a gate to bring down a soul.
Wow.
You are opening that window.
Wow.
And so tuning into these things don't only allow us to receive the gifts, but to also enjoy the whole process. Because on an emotional level, on a spiritual level, we come from pleasure, right? We come from closeness to Hashem, such pleasure. And then we come into this world and we seek pleasure right away. We seek it with nursing right away. We want to nurse and we seek for that pleasure. And any pleasure we seek, at the end of the day, we're seeking that closeness to Hashem. And and we're trying to receive that from different physical pleasures. And birth is the ultimate pleasure because we're with Hashem. Shiviti Hashem lenegdi tamid. Like Chava said, she didn't say, oh my gosh, Chava was the woman who gave birth all by herself. But no other woman was with her to help her, to give her words of encouragement, to validate her. Nothing. She was so alone, and she gave birth. And what does she say? How does she describe her birth? I'm having chills. This is how she describes her birth. Kaniti ish et Hashem. I bought you, Hashem. I brought you down to earth. I forced you down into this earth. Shiviti Hashem negdi tamid, right? It means seeing Hashem in front of you, but it also means hashva'at tzura, which means I'm equal to Hashem, which means if Hashem is compassion, I am going to be compassionate. If Hashem is love, I'm going to love. And if Hashem gives life, I'm giving life. So it's a pleasurable experience because we're in this together with Hashem. We're getting that closeness. Hashem has to be by the birth, 100% there, because he has the key, right? Shlosha maftechot nitenu, lo nitnu le'af shaliach. Maftach leda, Chaya, and Kshamim. Three keys that only stayed in Hashem's hands. Birth, Parnasa, which is rain and Parnasa, and what was the third one?
Was it death?
No, no, not that.
Oh,
Surprisingly, anything that gives life. Chaya.
oh.
Okay, it slipped, but it's okay.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
sorry. I'm terrible with Hebrew, so I was trying to follow, and I was like, "What did she say?"
I know. Why I say the psukim or whatever is because I feel like everything that I'm saying, when I add the psukim from the Torah, it just helps it penetrate into your soul.
Mm-hmm.
And Chayag Shamim, I'm so curious myself. I said it
Yeah, you
before, but okay, maybe
literally said it. Yeah, I wish we could rewind. I don't know what you said. But it's things that give life. So it's not. So it's not.
exactly.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anything that gives life. Um, תחיית המתים.
Ah.
תחיית המתים.
Okay.
Yeah. תחיית המתים, giving birth and rain. So Hashem has to be there 100% with you, your partners. You're giving birth. He's going to go inside you. He's going to go inside and he's going to, it's the ultimate closeness. Nobody could get this closeness ever besides for during birth while you are alive. And so really on a spiritual level, it should be pleasurable, right?
Mhm.
Because you're again close to Hashem.
Yeah.
So if it has a makor in a basis in spirituality, then it has a basis physically. And physically, yes, you could have immense, immense, immense pleasure while giving birth
Yeah.
because you have really birth should be pleasurable. Let's put it this way. But what stops it is our fears,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Our fears. It's hadat, our conceptions, our thoughts, right? The dat is the mind. You know what's the sin was in the dat in the
Mm-hmm.
mind, and the tikkun is in the dat in the mind. So the mindset plays a major part in that, right? So when we help release our fears and get into a great mindset, then there we have it, pleasure. And why? Because the hormone that starts birth is the pleasure hormone. That actually starts the process of birth. And throughout the birth, right, oxytocin, it
Right.
keeps getting, you keep releasing more and more oxytocin, right? And what does the oxytocin do? It does the contraction, the surges, or the waves, right?
Yeah.
And the oxytocin is the one doing that, right? And what else does oxytocin do? It gives you pleasure. When you're having an orgasm, you have oxytocin, a lot of oxytocin in your blood, right? And then during labor and during the birth journey and giving birth, this oxytocin just gets more and more and more and more. You get much more release of it. I can't even say a number of how much more than during an orgasm. It's like millions and millions of times more because it has to contract the whole uterus. So it's millions and times of more of oxytocin release in your bloodstream. Endorphins. Endorphins are painkillers, right? You're running, you have endorphins, you have that like rush, right? And you get from endorphins after like a nice run, right? Where you're not in your thought, right? If you're stressed out in your thought, then you're not gonna get as much endorphins, right? You could get hurt after you run and it won't hurt you, right? That's why they say if you get hurt, if you run and you feel like you hurt your foot, you probably should stop because if it is broken or whatever, you won't feel it,
Wow.
right? It's literally drugs. It's heavy, heavy drugs that we have in our body that are enabling us to also give pain relief and also give pleasure. Um, and endorphins, the endorphins that we said, right, in the middle of a run where we're having a big, big, big dose of release of these endorphins during birth, trillions and trillions and trillions times more endorphins
Wow.
than in the peak of your run.
Wow. 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 So you're saying that really, you're right. It is oxytocin. That everyone knows that, right? And
Yeah.
the crazy thing is that, like, Yeah, like it actually is a pleasurable hormone. That's what it's literally connected to pleasure. And but the crazy thing is that it's so painful for so many of us, meaning like what you said is that we really what I'm hearing is that there's so much capacity for pleasure. There's so much capacity to connect to the fact that it's pleasurable. Also to connect to the fact that Hashem is so near, right? Like the way I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that all these things are possibilities, but they're not what's the word called, they're possibilities but not guarantees, meaning just because Hashem is so close, it's like that in all of Judaism, right? Like during Elul Hashem is so close, but if we don't do the work sort of to connect to it, then we don't connect to it, meaning it's in our hands sort of to yes, that's what I'm hearing about both of these. It's like there's the capacity for pleasure, there's the capacity for connection, but you want to support parents to, or mothers specifically, to um, take that opportunity. Yes, is that
Right,
right?
right. And like you're saying, you can't control the way it goes, and there could be some pain with pleasure
Ah,
as well.
okay.
And that's why it's not like I'm looking to for people to have a pain-free, pleasurable birth. I'm
Mm.
looking for people to enjoy also the pain.
Ah,
If there
I like that.
is pain, to enjoy that also.
Mm.
But to the overall picture is pleasure, is ecstasy, right? You could work
Mm.
hard and be in pleasure,
Right, like what
and you could have
you were saying, if somebody's running, like there is, it's hard work. It's not like the body is
right,
like there's pain in there too, but like you said, there's ecstasy. That's why you called it
exactly,
ecstatic birth. Okay.
yeah, yeah, and
Ah, okay.
it's yeah. Um, but I feel like maybe I'm putting a little bit too much pressure on the idea we have to like release the fears. We have to this. No, we really don't have to do anything. We just want to let it take us over and let go into it. And what when we feel pain, right? When we're sitting on how can you enjoy pain? If I'm sitting in an uncomfortable way, right, that's making me painful, what am I going to do? I'm going to try to adjust my position in a way that feels more comfortable. And if I trust my body, then I'm going to do that when I'm during the birth journey. And what else am I going to do? I'm going to flow with what my body is gonna show me that works best for it. And I'm gonna use tools like making sound. Kol ba'isha erva. The woman's voice is connected to her privates. It's if in a an anatomia anatomy, right? If you look at the anatomy of the throat and the pelvis, it's the same anatomy,
Wow.
and it's connected with fascia. And when you make sound, it opens
Mm.
there also. It's
Wow.
connected 100%. So different, and it's a sigh. It's a so any we have tools. We have tools to help us. So many tools, that gives us power.
Wow, I love what you shared. And I also had a thought while you were sharing it. Like, I know for myself, let's say with emotional pain or even physical pain, but I love how you said, like, if your body feels pain, to move it, trust your body to know what to do. But also, even with emotional pain, I find when I resist the pain, then I suffer. But when I move with the pain, it actually is like there is something pleasurable about it. I know it sounds crazy, but it's something that, yes, like there's pain, but there's a sweetness to it when I'm not resisting it, when I'm just with it. And that's what I'm hearing you say. It's like, you don't have to release the fears. That's almost in a way, almost resisting it. It's like just to flow with it, to be with it. Somehow that actually allows you to feel the sweetness of it. Something like that.
Beautiful, beautifully said. Exactly. That allows you to feel the sweetness in it. It's exactly like the story in I think it was two parashot ago in Mara, where they didn't have water, right? They were so
Yes.
thirsty,
Yes.
and then there was a well with bitter, bitter water. And Moshe said to Hashem, maybe I'll put a date in the water and it will make it sweet, even though it doesn't make sense, but at least naturally it would look it's more natural, right? And
Ah,
Hashem said, no, put something bitter in the water. and that will make it sweet. And what is Hashem trying to tell us? Don't run away from the bitterness to sweet things, to food, to the mall, to anything. There's so much um, sweet things that we could run away to,
Wow.
but no, take the bitter, feel the bitter, go into the bitter, and in the bitter there is sweetness.
Yes. Yes. It's almost like, no, be with the bitter. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Like it's
beautiful.
like crying, right? It's like you're crying. It could feel so good to cry. Like I remember I always thought it was weird. Like I would cry and I would be like, I'm so happy. How am I happy and crying and sad at the same time? But it's, you know,
Yeah, yeah, like there is a sweetness to crying. There is yes, it's painful because you are in pain, that's why you're crying, but there's a sweetness to, yes, that's so exactly. So that's what you're saying. That's what I'm hearing you say is that, like, yes, there is pain in birth. You're not denying that. You're not, right? You're like, yes, and but it's
there
more
can be,
about
there can be
can
pain
be.
in birth. It's an intense experience,
Ah,
right?
okay.
So I could take the intensity and I could move with the intensity and I
Mm,
could make the intensity fun, like I can make a workout fun.
wow.
And I can make voices and I have all the hormones to support me having fun in this process.
Wow. So yeah, you're saying basically that there's everything is there to support me for it to be ecstatic, for it
Exactly.
to be, yes, yes, yes. And that's what you want to support parents with. The thing that, like, listening to you is like, I so relate and resonate with this idea of like coming to birth from such a place of like fear and contraction and being disconnected from my body and being it, oh, like you said, being like a medical thing and just physical yeah, I feel so sad. I actually feel so sad, like that I even experienced it in that way. Um, and I just love that you're bringing this awareness or this possibility to parents who want it, who it resonates with, that yeah, it can be actually very different where you're actually very connected to the whole journey.
Yeah. Yeah, and I want to just say, add another thing. It's like a massage, right? A massage could be painful and it could be enjoyable. This is exactly the same like a massage. It's an internal massage. Okay, that's what it is.
Wow.
And what's the difference is the perspective, right? For example, I could have a client where I'm digging my elbow in her glutes, right?
Hmm.
And she's saying, and I actually have a client, she says, ow, 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 ow. So I loosen up a little. And she says, no, 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 ow means good. Yes, 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 yes. Right?
Yeah.
And then I could, the same woman, same elbow, same strength, meet her at a random place and just dig my elbow in her glutes and she'll call the police.
Yes.
So here she's paying me and here she's suing me. What's the difference? The only thing that's different is the perspective.
Wow. Wow.
Here she's
Wow.
yes, yes, yes. Here she's dialing 911.
Wow. Wow. So yeah, so what I'm hearing you say is like with birth, if we have the perspective of like I'm being punished and this is so painful and like this, I don't know, I guess everyone has
It's
different thoughts.
supposed to be painful,
Yeah.
and it's just gonna get more painful. Instead of ve'od yoter tov, ve'od yoter tov, it's gonna get more painful. It's gonna get more painful, and if now it's so bad, then it's just gonna get worse. Instead of thinking, wait, now it's a little bit hard, but maybe my hormones are just adjusting. Soon I'm gonna get much more oxytocin than I have now, which happens, right? Our hormones adjust for our needs. Don't bother it. Don't bother it by saying, oh, it's just going to get worse, you know?
Wow.
But I want to also say it's like when we're approaching it in a way of contraction, right? Like a wave, right? A huge wave is coming at us, and I could be like, yeah, wave, and I could just like woo, jump on the wave and let it take me and enjoy the wave and let even if I get hurt a little bit on the floor, like at the end. I could enjoy it so much. I can enjoy that wave and before the wave, I know the wave is coming, so I'll take a deep breath in and fall into it and let it just take me over and enjoy it, right? Or I could be like, oh my God, wait, and it's gonna go up my nose, and I'm gonna puke, and I'm gonna like feel like I'm drowning, and I'm gonna think,
Hmm.
oh, if this wave was so bad, then the next wave is gonna be worse, and maybe there will be a tsunami.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. For me, it's really, really like what I'm hearing so much is like to rather than resisting, it's inviting it. Just like with a massage. With when you come and you poke her in the glutes, she's resisting. She's like, "What are you doing? I never asked you. Like, what are you doing to me?" There's like a resistance to it. Versus when you give her a massage, there's an invitation. Like, yes, no, do this. I want that. That's kind of like one way, I guess, of our thoughts being thinking of it. Yeah. Am I
Yeah,
on
yeah.
point?
Yeah, also, I didn't look at it that way, but also, yeah, definitely like either inviting it or just perceiving it differently. My body is safe. My body knows what it's doing. I could make sounds. I could move. I trust my movement. I trust my body. I trust my baby. I trust the massage therapist, which the massage therapist in this case is God. And yeah, but I also I should have said this in the beginning, because if you think I'm this like queen of pleasurable and no fear and ecstatic birth, I am definitely not. Now I am. Now I literally like I see pregnant women and I want to give birth again. I can't wait. I can't wait to give birth again. I can't wait. I'm looking at you now and I'm like, what? Yes. Like it's whoa. But what in the past, why am I like this now? Why did I get into it? Because I had immense, 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 immense fear. Thank you. I have good Mishalim. Thank you so much. I come from the queen of fear, the queen of fear of birth. From when I was little, I would think about it, and I couldn't bear the thought. And I thought to myself, okay, it's fine. Till then, Mashiach is going to come. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. And when I was pregnant with my first child, I'm like, oh no, Mashiach is not here yet. I'm going to have to give birth to this child. And I was so scared that I didn't do anything about it. And it wasn't bad. It was not bad at all. It was wonderful birth, but with tremendous, tremendous, tremendous fear. Tremendous. And then the following birth, it was during COVID. And the only reason I was considering a home birth was because of the mask situation. But to me, it wasn't even an option to do a home birth. I was so scared. I needed to know I could get an epidural. And which I did get in my first. And again, I'm not against epidural. I'm not against C-sections. And birth can take us wherever. And we allow it and we thank it. When the second one came and I was preparing more, that's when I got very into it. And my third one, which was not too long ago, that's when I got to also understand the gifts, receive the gifts, and be in my college. I learned so much in this birth. It's like I should we should have a resume. This pregnancy I learned this and this. With this child and the pregnancy and then the birth, it's like another certificate. Everything is, and then our kids become our teachers and help us take out our potential. So yeah. And our birth story is so important. Like one of my teachers said, she's like, I met this woman who was like 90 years old. And she was telling me about her 70-year-old, how he was so stubborn. Ever since he was born, he didn't want to come out. He was so stubborn. They had to vacuum out or whatever. He was so stubborn. Till today, he's stubborn. And like, hello, this guy is 17. Sorry, 70.
D, yeah.
70. And like, you still call him stubborn because he was stubborn when the birth plays a story, and the way we see our child, the way we connect to our child. I see, like with my last one, I feel him. I feel him. I felt him inside me, giving me Torah, giving me gifts. The spirituality came out. It wasn't, and now that I look at him, I look at him as like a neshama, like a holy soul, and I look at it, I look at him with much more value and thankfulness and connection, and and also the way I invited him into this world plays a role for him too. I invited him into this world with so much bitachon, like in myself and Hashem, in my body, and him, and what he's doing. He's also doing things here. We're giving birth together. In Sefer Yirmiyahu it says. פרק ל"א פסוק ז', if you want to check, הרע ויולדת יחדיו. A woman is pregnant, right? And she births together. What does that mean? She's birthing together with her baby. Both of them are being birthed.
Wow.
Both of them.
Wow.
In order for this, so that's why we could just also take down whatever we want. You're the gate. You could choose, you could put whatever you want in this gate and bring it down here. And הרע ויולדת יחדיו, like you're being reborn. And yeah, it's like, it's so amazing. It's so amazing. Born child. You're also in it. Just one more thing, it like changes your whole perspective of the way you're looking at it. You're your baby's doula. You're here to go up and walk down this soul onto this earth.
Wow. It's amazing, because listening to you, it's like, it really is about perspective. Hearing this perspective, it's like I feel so inspired and so hopeful and so ecstatic. There's just like this feeling of like, wow, it's just such a precious and an incredible opportunity, and yeah, it's just so different from, like, how you said you felt so much fear. Me too. I would say the word that comes to mind is disconnection. There was so much disconnection in my first birth, like from myself, from like the whole thing was just a disconnected experience. And what I'm hearing you share here is like so much the opposite, so much pleasure and expansiveness and connection, and the possibility for that, so what you do is, in your course, is that what you do is support mothers who are, I guess, wait, I'm curious, actually, is anybody invited? Like, what if somebody just wants to hear it and who's not going to give birth anytime soon, or I don't know if they know that they, whatever it is.
So I actually have, in this course, I have 4 women who are not pregnant.
Oh, wow.
One of them is trying to get pregnant, which is amazing for people who are trying to get pregnant, and maybe fear is stopping you, right? But besides for that, it's really for life. Like, we're learning so much. We're connecting to the baby, and you know what? Before your baby is in your womb, you're still, it comes into the last, Hechala Neshamot, it's called, the place where it's before it's ready to go into the utero, and in that place it could peek into the world, and that's when your kids come to your chuppah, right? First, a year before you get married, they pray that you should get married, and then they come to your chuppah. So imagine connecting to your child when they're not even in your womb. Why not?
Wow.
Oh, and if they're not going to have more kids, then they're maybe repairing what was already, and helping.
Yeah. So I hear that. It makes sense to me that like, as I was listening, I was like, it could technically be anyone. I can imagine so many people benefiting from it. It even feels healing to listen to you. It even feels healing to listen, like, based on, So, okay. So in your course, you basically teach mothers how to basically connect, or to find pleasure, or to be with the surgeon, or all of what you share here, kind of. I mean, obviously much more in depth, and
Right.
something like that.
Yeah. So we learn the processes that help it, like that we could assist different tools, right?
Okay.
Seeing, and then we could use these tools to connect. I like to, and we release a lot of fears. We learn, like, a great way to release fears, and could be in anything in life, but all of our fears have answers, have ways to deal with it, and to empower it, and to use our fears as power and as helpers. And so we work on the fears. We learn how it, more in depth, how it could be pleasurable, what we could do, different tools. Um, we learn a little bit of healing, like energy, also as part of like helping ourselves. Another tool. Everyone pretty much, takes whatever of whatever they,
Yeah,
whatever
whatever
speaks to them.
resonates for them. Yeah.
But really, I like to say I am bringing so much attention to the emotional and to the spiritual aspect of things. I want to paint a picture of the spiritual aspect. I want to paint a picture of the emotional aspect of it, and that way also we're connecting to it, and also we're actualizing it. We're able to feel it.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I hear that so much, even in what you're sharing. Like, I feel so much more connected to the spiritual, emotional, yeah, like aspect of it. And what I'm hearing is that, like, that's what you're wanting to support mothers with. Um, yeah, it's so, yeah, it's like you said, like we said at the very, very start. I'm just like, you know how you were saying before, you were like, I was so afraid of birth, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want Mashiach to come, and like Mashiach's not here yet, and I was like, what if this is Mashiach? What if Mashiach actually means connecting to it in this way? It's not that actually it's a different thing, that suddenly birth becomes a different. It's actually. Do you understand what I'm saying?
100%.
That yeah,
Wow, beautiful. Wow. I
yeah.
might,
I mean,
I'll look
yeah.
at it like that.
Yeah, like
Wow.
you know how you were saying we're stepping into the Geula mindset, like of abundance, and I'm like, what if that is Mashiach? It's not that things actually change; it's that our relationship to all of these things change.
And it's exactly true. Right. Right. It's that our mind opens and shifts, and that's
Yeah,
exactly what Mashiach is. Right.
yeah,
Right.
it's a different consciousness, right? So like a
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
awareness, a different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Another thing, they say like Chava wasn't kicked out of Gan Eden. Chava was, the man was, Chava wasn't.
Oh
It,
wow.
yeah. So we're still in Gan Eden.
You're like we still have the yeah the whatever it
The
is, the gift of being.
ability to get there.
Mhm. Wow. Wow, that's beautiful. So, okay, so if people want to connect with, so you said you gave your first course, but it's finished. You're in the fourth class, right?
Yeah.
Up to the, so it's over. But if people want to, first of all, would you coach somebody one on one if they were just like, I
Yeah.
want you to
Sure.
teach me
Sure.
these things?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
and then if people just wanted to like, I know. Okay, so first of all, this Instagram page that you're on now, Path to Birth. I imagine people can follow you there and see
Yeah.
if you're. But is there any other way that first of all, people want massages because you're an amazing massage therapist,
Thank
honey.
you.
I have experienced it
Mhm.
a few times, so yes. But yeah, if people want to connect with you over any of it, or just follow you, or know what you're up to, or whatever it is. How can they reach you aside from your page, or maybe that's the only way? What you tell us?
Yeah. They could follow me on my page. They could message me there, um, and we could go from there. Yeah.
Perfect. What if I'm planning to upload this to YouTube, so
Okay.
for everyone who doesn't have Instagram can also watch it.
Beautiful.
So for
Beautiful.
those people, how can they reach you? I was just thinking about now. How can they reach you if they don't have
Ah,
Instagram?
that's a very good question. How do you usually do it?
Do you have a business WhatsApp? I can post it.
I don't have a business WhatsApp. I guess I'm going to send you an email that you could post.
Okay, perfect.
Um, I just want to ask you, I see do you have a few more minutes if I see any
Yeah, of course we
questions?
have. Yeah, we have a. I just wanted.
Okay,
I don't want it to
okay,
end.
okay, perfect. Yeah. I love the spiritual combined with emotional connection. Thank you. I'm doing 4 weeks, so I feel very grateful. Well, okay, thank you. I'm so glad. Um, and yeah, I'm so glad if I could give anything over in this. If you have any questions, also you believe me, that will open something.
Yeah,
Um, you know.
yeah. I'm so open to receiving anybody's questions too. I happen not to have any questions. Like I so hear you. Like everything you're saying is so resonant, it really resonates with me. All aspects of it. It really is. I also want to say I loved how you said it two times, that like you love C-sections. You love the possibility of C-sections and epidural. Like I just love that you're like, we have those gifts right now. They are available to us. And so, yeah, like if it's something that could support someone, like why not use it? It's not like your mindset is like going back in time. It's bringing all the wisdom that we have until now and maybe even, yeah, and tapping into all of it kind of is what I'm hearing you say, you know? But I love that so
100%.
much. I really love
100%.
that.
And I want to add, first of all, like in Dora Pelaga, right, when they built the tower, what happened there also is that they took whatever they could do physically and they used it against God. Like, oh, I could do this now, so I don't need you, God, because look, I could do this. I could do this. I could build a tower in case there's a mabul or and save myself. I don't need you. And instead we learned, now we know to use all the physical gifts that we could do, and we could use that. First of all, thank Hashem that we could do it. Thank you that we're able to do it. And second of all, thank you, thank you. We know it's from you. You gave it to us that we could use it and do it. And not only that, each thing, there's nitzotzot kedusha, right? Sparks of kedusha, of holiness in anything, right? In our drink, mm, going up, right? There is nitzotzot shel kedusha in everything that we do. And when we're taking an epidural, right? I'm not saying, some people will say, it's well, some people won't wanna, and will get to the point where something happens and then they wanna, and then that's fine. The epidural has also nitzotzot kedusha that, guess what, you needed to take and to bring up. So how beautiful is that you did it?
Wow. Oh, wow, I love that. It's basically what I'm hearing you is not resisting any of it. It's going along with all of
Exactly.
it, recognizing that all of it can be part of the beautiful process. Did you see people comments? I love what people are saying. Do you want to read them? I'm happy to read them too, whatever feels more
Yeah,
comfortable.
you could read. Yeah,
Yeah,
read it.
someone said, I feel like we're brainwashed from a young age that childbirth has to be painful and will be painful because of Chava sin. And it's so, so true. And wait, this
Yeah,
person's comment even brought me something. Remember how I said Mashiach? What if Mashiach is actually it's just changing our relationship to these things? And so, yeah, what if actually believing that, oh, it has to be painful because of Chava sin is galus, the opposite of being in the Mashiach kind of mindset. Oh, that just made so much more sense to
right.
me.
Yes, and I want to add what she said is right. First of all, brainwash. Brainwash is so cool. All these things we could use for our
Hmm.
advantage. We have the power to brainwash ourselves.
Ah,
So we could choose. I'm gonna brainwash myself that birth is the most pleasurable thing on earth. We have that option. So why use brainwashing in a negative way? So anything, we have so many tools, right? We could see our sight is connected to our, how do we say, to our system, to our מערכת העצבים, the nervous system, right? So automatically I see something, it affects my nervous system, it affects the hormones that are going to be released, right? So I'm seeing, why would I want to see negative things and cause that, right? When we are aware of all these power tools, so we could use it for the good. I want to use it to see beautiful sights now before birth so that it will affect my nervous system and I could use these images when giving birth.
wow. Wow.
All things are so perfect, and I just want to say about the Chavasin, but first say what you want to say.
No, I want to say, I love what you said about brainwash. You're basically saying the power of the brain is so powerful. And so you're like, why not use it in a way that supports us? Yeah.
Yeah. And the power of all of our senses are so powerful. We could use each one instead of to bother this journey to support this journey. Right? Our thoughts are that, it's a that. It could either disturb our lives, right? שלא תלד לבהלה. You keep thinking of fears that give birth to more fears and more fears and more fears, and that's the dat going in a negative direction. Or you could use your dat in a good way to support, right? To think,
Wow.
oh, the good thoughts and what could be good, and to making it positive, right?
Wow.
Yeah, and so right, we take all of these tools, right? Our listening, right? So to listen to like relaxing music, we're gonna listen to meditations or affirmations. Our sight, we're gonna try to see beautiful things that will help us connect and bring relaxation and different images during birth. And smell, we're gonna smell different things that will help us breathe deeper and remind us of pleasure, right? Different, we find all these tools that we already have. We grab it in our backpack, in our spiritual backpack that we take with us to the journey of birth, and then we have whatever it is that we want to take, you know. um
Wow. You wanted to say something about Chava
yeah,
Sin.
so about the Chava, be'etzev tildi banim, right? It says be'etzev tildi banim, right? So let's say we take the pshat, right? Be'etzev, with sadness you will birth, right? With sadness, not with immense pain and disrespect and whatever it is, that's not what it says. It says with sadness. Don't add don't add on with pain and suffering, and don't add these things on. That's just stuff we added on. um, and there is sadness in birth, right? You're saying goodbye. You're departing with something that was within you. It's a change in the family, right? Now you have one more kid. It could be sad. It could be something sad about it. And if we go more into depth, etzev is also from the word itzuv, design. We could design the way we think about this process, right? We can't control where it goes, but we can control our perspective. We could design our perspective, right? Like we said before, if our perspective, the sensation, the interpretation of the sensation is completely lost my train of thought because I thought I was very fancy by saying these words.
I love
The
you.
the interpretation of the sensation is the perspective,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So so design, right? Be'etzev, itzuv. And also etzev is the nervous system. It's a process that happens within the nervous system.
Wow.
And there is more Ushim, right? But it just gives
Yeah.
you an idea, like where we took it, right? We were very, how do we say, affected, mushpa, affected by Christianity, right? Where it's like, don't do this, you'll do that. This is not Judaism. Judaism is Hashem stirs you in different direction in order for connection, in order for love, and not like punishment. No, it's gentle parenting. It's not like, oh, you spilled this on the floor. Like, it's exactly what it's not like you spilled it on the floor. So you're going to get a punishment and you're going to clean it up. It's like, oh, your child spilled something on the floor, so you're going to have to take responsibility and clean it up. But I'm here for you. And if you want, I could even hold the box for you. And if you want, I could even help you. And if you want, I could even turn on music to make it more fun for you. But I'm here for you and I love you, even though you spilled it on the floor, but we're going to pick it up together.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, everything you're saying resonates so much. I love that. Someone wrote a comment that got me off track, but I wanted to say something and I don't remember what. Maybe I'll remember. But somebody said Chani makes us all want to fall pregnant again.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. There's something so beautiful. It's like, oh my gosh, I want to connect to this. I want to have this. It's just it's so beautiful. It's really so beautiful. And shoot, I'm so upset that I forgot what I wanted to say before about what you were saying. Oh, you brought, I
Uh,
don't know, you reminded me of something.
Maybe I'll say a little bit, but it's a tildibanim, designing the process. It's a process a journey that goes into our nervous system. Um,
I don't know, I'm not remembering. It's just really resonant. It's very much resonate and it's also beautiful. And you were saying, you were saying like this idea of punishment and it's all whatever. And it's so funny. Just this morning, I had this conversation with my mother about this idea that so much I think of Christianity infiltrated the way that we think of things, but it's actually not. It's not ours. It's not Judaism. Yeah, and I just love that idea of like relating to it differently, like you said. And understanding that it's not like, oh, of course you have to suffer and you know, like it's actually, no, this is the natural consequence of the actions, but I'm here for you. I love you. I'm here to support you. And it can
And it
actually
could be
be,
fun. It
yeah,
could be fun picking up the toys. Your child could have fun picking up the toys again. You can make it could become fun and even more connecting, right? Because you're doing it together, right?
yes,
So here I'm doing 100% together
yeah, 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 yeah,
with my
yeah.
body, with my whole body, you know,
Wow.
my whole
Yeah.
body in this process together.
Yeah.
So
Like it's a,
it's fun.
yeah, it's like an amazing opportunity for connection. And maybe that's the whole point.
Exactly.
Maybe that's the whole point.
Exactly. Exactly, because like Rabbi Manis Friedman says, Shem doesn't punish us. He stirs us in a direction in order for us to
To
connect.
connect. Oh, I love that. Yes. 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 Wow. It like all comes together with everything, with what I'm passionate about, what you're passionate about. Like it's just so beautiful, you know? It's all the same core idea, connection, 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 connection to Hashem, to each other, to our children, like, you know, and really recognizing that all of it is an opportunity for that. And to ourselves, which I think of connecting to ourselves as so related to connecting to Hashem because, right, like our neshama is like a part of Hashem. And, you know, like you said, everything has that in that. So, wow. That is
Yeah.
really, really, I'm super, super like inspired, like I said, and hopeful and really touched by all of it. Yeah, like I feel it, you know, I feel when you speak, like like someone, like the people were saying here, like it helped me so everything you're sharing. It's like it really, I can sense how much it lives in you, as how alive it is for you, you know? And that's really like, yeah, it makes a difference. Like,
And totally, and I want to add, you're saying alive, and what we want to do with the whole spiritual aspect is when we talk about it to bring it all to life. And when we bring the spiritual into life of what's going on here spiritually into life, we're talking about it, it makes it alive, then it becomes the spiritual is so much more powerful than physical. And and the beauty becomes like just endless. There is a baby inside you that is connected to Etz Chaim, which is the placenta, and is learning Torah, and is, just the whole, what's going on here? The soul is not even completely in this baby's body. I'm like pointing at my belly, but I don't have a baby in my belly, or maybe I do. But this soul is part of the next world and halfway in my body. What does this mean about me? I'm also connected to the next world even more so than when I'm not pregnant. I am also gaining the Torah that my child is learning.
wow,
I am I have a kollel in my stomach. Like, I have a Sefer Torah. I have, just bringing these ideas, what's going on spiritually into life. And actually, Chachamim said they used to have an argument if people should stand up before a pregnant woman because she has a Sefer Torah inside her stomach, like
wow,
you know.
wow.
And they decided, I think, not to because of tzniut or something. But Ari Kadosh and I forgot who else, they used to stand up before women who were pregnant.
Wow. Wow, that is so beautiful. Wow. That just like I really feel that. Yeah. Wow. Almost like they had this like awe or reverence for what was happening. Like they
Yeah,
recognized it, they saw it, you know, like their
it's
perspective.
like Kodeshim, and the woman becomes so holy, everything about her. And what was I gonna say though? Um, okay, maybe I'll remember soon.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah. I'm really so appreciating this conversation. I think people listening also really like, yeah, just like from what I heard, the feedback that they benefited just from hearing you, and I definitely did. And I could just
so
imagine how much you have to offer, yeah, to
I
any
just want
any.
remembered what I wanted to say. I just the example of how more powerful the spiritual can be on the physical is not only by feeling the pleasure, right? Because when you're connecting to all that, you can actually, connect more to pleasure. but also it could help you view things differently. For example, if you're overdue, instead of feeling like, oh my gosh, like I'm overdue, I want this baby out already, or trying to control the situation, you're just like, oh, yay, my baby is getting to learn more Torah that is going to go with him his whole life. It's in order to remember. He's learning it to forget and then to remember. And he's going to bring it into this world, a part of the Torah that was never, ever in this world before. And all this is because I'm overdue. Wow. And I'm expanding more. Whoa. I'm expanding more. What does this mean? That the whole world is expanding more. My whole mind and my heart and everything, emotionally, spiritually, is expanding more. And anything, the stretch marks. I ripped my skin is ripping. My all, my light, my all is the skin, but it's also light. What is happening here? I'm opening more windows for more light, like, and everything becomes different meanings, right? I had someone had a C-section. What did I do? What's this scar? It's a scar that I could say, Hashem, remember I cut the gates of heaven? What's up? Give me whatever I want.
Wow, I love it. I love it. You're basically saying that it's all about perspective, and you can see it so differently. You can connect to it in such a different way. We all have the ability to do that. I also just
Yeah.
love Lashon HaKodesh. I absolutely love the language, and I love how you're using it, because I'm always blown away by the shorash of each word and how the different meanings that it has. Oh my gosh, it's the most, yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible.
I love
So I love that you bring that in.
that.
Hmm?
I just want to say one thing. I also love that, and I love it. But it's like the Baal Shem Tov and the Rabbi Nachman. They say, wherever you are in your mind, that's where you are. It's stronger than reality. I'm right
Wow.
now talking to you. You're not even here. But in my mind, I'm talking to you and you're here. And that's the what's in my mind is stronger than reality. Where I put myself in my mind is stronger. So that means that a C-section could be pleasurable also,
Mm.
right?
Yeah,
I'm not,
for sure.
not comparing it to a natural birth where also has amazing hormones to actually really support that. But also C-section could get those hormones to support that if you're in that mindset. But really, where are you in your mind? If you're in your mind in an island, laying down in the sun, and the doctors are massaging your stomach, and then a baby is flowing out of there.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
No,
there's really, like you said, the power of your thought, the power of how you, yeah, think about it and relate to it. And yeah. Wow. Thank you so much, Chani, for taking the time. First of all, for whatever work you did that you came to this place, for all the hours and years and whatever journey you went through that brought you to this place that you can share all of this with us. But also even for today, for taking the time to share this with us.
thank you so
I'm
much.
I'm I'm really gonna take it with me. I'm like very moved by all of it. It's very,
So,
yeah.
so glad. Do we have time to just read? We not necessarily talk about each comment.
Sure, my phone's gonna shut in like 2 minutes. I'm
Oh,
freaking
okay.
out. And like I'm
Okay. So let's get to wherever I'm having a home birth. That's amazing. If you want, you could message me if you want any more support. This rewiring is so important. The pain is there, but we can use it to make our connection closer. Also, right, right. But um, what's this? This is giving me chills. So beautiful. I'm so
oh,
glad. Okay. Wow.
me too. I definitely felt chills at certain points. Yeah, so my thing is gonna shut on me. I have the timer that it goes off. Sorry
Perfect.
about that.
No,
Chani,
it's
thank you
beautiful.
so much for being here. I'm gonna post whatever you give me for people to be able to reach out to you if they're watching this on YouTube and they're not. So I'll put in the description or whatever so
Perfect.
people can reach out to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you everyone for being
Thank
here.
you. Thank you. בשעה טובה, טובה,
Amen.
טובה.
Bye.
מאוד יותר טוב, מאוד יותר טוב. ביי.
Amen, amen, amen. Bye.